beautiful day.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful.
We have many such days, Mr. Demarest. Look there. It didn't take long for Mr. Robinson to use the worms we were talking about yesterday.
Good morning, Mr. Robinson. We thought you were still asleep.
Oh, delightful morning.
Yes, we were just saying the same thing.
I went out to fish. Caught myself quite a few, as you can see. Should be tasty little thing. Isn't Cora with you? She should be down by now.
No, I haven't seen her.
I couldn't sleep. Insomnia, I guess. So I took advantage of your advice, Baron. Excuse me if it wasn't the right thing to do. My apologies, but I used your pole and other equipment.
Well, don't worry about it. Why don't you go and bring your wife down to breakfast? Take the fish to the kitchen. Baldy will prepare it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Callahan, we're going into breakfast.
I'll be back in a little while. A moment will do it. My bag isn't that antique car I needed today.
Get up, Cora. We're going to have breakfast in a minute. Quit playing games. I know you're awake. You never sleep this late, Cora. Oh, my God. Cora.
Fainting scene from The Man-Eater of Hydra. Boy, they are really starting to drop like flies, ain't they? First it was that driver, and now it's Cora. Oh, the poor thing sure learned the hard way of the hazards of smoking in bed. Well, all the more fish for her hubby, I guess. I don't know what's doing everybody in like that, but it leaves this big old hickey in their cheeks. Just like the one the servant's twin, we can't afford another actor, brother had on his cheek when they ran into him at the start of the movie. In this story, you gotta suspect everybody. Nobody is above suspicion. It could be the Baron, it could be that nutty professor, it could be Mr. Robinson, and it could even be the hero. Did you catch his name? David Moss. In a movie about man-eating plants, I would keep an eye out on a guy named Moss. Well, we'll get back to the man-eater right after this.
You did it. No, you're the killer. You're a maniac. He was sneaking around the house last night. He entered my room and he had no business there. Yes, Baron, I'm sure he knew. No question about it, Baron. He's guilty.
A serious accusation, Mrs. Callahan.
It's time for accusations, wouldn't you say, Baron? 2 people died here last night. Whose arms did they die in?
Mr. Moss, I don't know what you mean.
Oh? We could ask Baldy's brother. But he's dead, too. Isn't he?
An accident, Mr. Moss. The cook was killed by the car that brought you.
If that's true, what about Cora Robinson and the driver? Were their deaths also accidental?
Mr. Moss, all of you. I want you to know I'm as tragically puzzled by these events as you are.
No, there's no doubt about it. He's the killer, that's Fink.
You must not make hasty accusations, Mrs. Callahan. A terrible crime has been committed. The police on the mainland must be notified. I'll do it at once.
Yeah, you go do it.
Are you all right, Beth? Come on. You look like you could use some fresh air. Don't you worry.
Murderer! Miserable murderer! They'll catch you, yes, you...
Nobody hated her enough to do that. No.
They'll always catch
Not
up
like
with
that.
like you.
Not like
But
that.
they'll think they kill you.
Don't worry, Mr. Demarest.
A place like this.
At least you can say your hunch was right.
Are you feeling a little better now?
Yes, I'm all right.
Hello, operator. Hello.
Well, my friends, I regret to inform you that the telephone line to the mainland seems to be out of order. We'll have to wait.
No telephone. But the ferry isn't due back till late tomorrow afternoon. We may all be...
Hello. Hello.
I'm not being taken in by your lies.
Murderer! You tell her, Baron, I'm no murderer. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
He's not kidding me.
Well, I hope you're satisfied, Mr. Moss.
The line was dead. You were right. My apologies for doubting your word.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't be the murderer. None of us could have done it.
Why do you say that, Mr.
That
Demarest?
car. Why, all the doors were locked. Only one window was open just a few inches, yet he wasn't killed by a bullet or any other missile. Don't you see? No man could have killed him.
A vampire could. Did you say a vampire? Yes, why not? Demarest is right. The window in our room has a sheer cliff outside, with no way for anybody to climb. But a bat.
Surely, Mr. Robinson, you don't believe that.
There was no blood in the body, Baron, and the driver of the car told us yesterday that everybody left this island because of a vampire legend. He said no one wanted to stay here except you, Baron.
And I thought I was living in the 20th century.
Just a moment, Baron. I don't believe in vampires. But the people did leave the island, true?
Yes, of course.
Why?
Why? Because they actually thought there was a vampire.
And there was.
There was not. Some animals were found with very little blood in their bodies. Could have been a disease similar to leukemia. I tried to explain this to the fools, but they preferred to believe the old vampire legend. So they frightened themselves away, you see. And that's what happened.
How did the murderer get through those windows? That's what I want to know.
But you can't deny it. Their bodies were also drained of blood.
A vampire, that's what you are, but you won't get this, old lady. Whether or not there is a vampire, murder has been committed.
Yeah, exactly. What are we sitting around here
Was
like
a
with the
vampire.
murderer?
It's not up to us to solve the murders. The point is that the murderer, whoever or whatever he is still at large. The telephone's dead, so we can't call the police. The ferry won't be here until tomorrow. Now, what we have to do is concentrate all our efforts on figuring out a way to get off this island. Baron?
Yes, Mr. Moss?
Do you have a boat?
I do, Mr. Moss. We have a motor launch that we use for emergency trips to the mainland. It's at the dock.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It hasn't been used for some time. It may need fuel or water.
All right, you and I can take care of that. And the others can be packing their things.
Whatever you say, Mr. Moss.
Be careful, David.
Excuse us.
We'll be back soon.
in a little while.
Tell me, do you have a...
I wanted my path to be true to me and my roots. So I risked it all and started making some...
Tell me, do you have a car, Baron?
No, there's always Alfredo's, of course.
Well, how do you usually get around the island?
Bicycles. There are several behind the villa, Mr. Moss.
By the way, what's been done with the bodies?
Lacking a morgue, I had Baldy put them in the family vault. There's the boat, Mr. Moss.
That? I'm afraid so. How do you explain that?
Apparently, the killer didn't want us to leave the island, so he scuttled the boat.
Yes, apparently.
No pictures to be taken in the house. But when the cat's not home, the mouse will roam. What's the matter? Why so sad? Aren't we all about to take a ride to the mainland and live happily ever after? Yeah, sure we are. So never mind, kids, it's a fine day. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm going outside to take some more pictures.
Do you think it's wise to leave the villa, Mrs. Callahan?
With characters like you inside, I can tell you it's much safer to be on the outside.
But you shouldn't be alone. Let me come with you.
Okay if you wanna. So come
Call
on.
us if David and the Baron come back while we're outside.
See you guys.
Dear.
Why stop looking? No point in it at all, you know.
Look for who? David? Why not?
If not David,
Oh.
who else? It's really a shame. You and that fine young fella, too.
I do wish you'd stop being so mysterious.
I got some really great shots in the garden this morning. Oh, look, aren't they marvelous? Come on.
All right, wait for me. I'm coming. Wait.
Oh! Oh, beautiful. Why don't we go on?
Well, all right, but not too far from the house.
No. Nature can't be beat. Really, it's beautiful here. Beth, you know it's sad that we'll never get to see these pictures.
Will you tell me what you're talking about?
Why, death. Death is what I meant. Death.
What do you mean? Whose death? Mrs. Robinson? The driver's?
Whose? My dear, there's no escaping it. You know, none of us is going to leave this island. You'll die before we are rescued, and we'll all be killed except that Demer's character. Me, I'm not important. Who's going to cry over the likes of me? No one. I just wonder who the next victim will be.
Stop it, Myrtle.
Please, pity that such a nice young pair like you and David should have to die. And in such a horrible way, too. Beth, where are you going? Beth, come back here. Beth, come back here.
you no good, Mr. Moss. Baldy takes orders only from me. I advise you not to use force. He's abnormally strong.
Tell him then, Baron. Tell him.
Of course. Put the lady down, Baldy. Here.
What happened?
I would say Miss Christensen is not in any serious condition. Probably only fainted.
What have you done to her? Answer me.
He cannot tell you, Mr. Moss. Although he hears and understands you, Baldy is a mute.
I swear if he's hurt her, he'll pay.
Now, why does everybody in this movie have to call that mute galoot Baldy? I mean, he may not be the most handsome dude on the block, but he does have a nice head of hair. They could call him lots of things, but not Baldy. Guess he don't care what you call him, just as long as you don't call him late for dinner. Oh, no, there's a joke that ought to be retired. And when are you guys gonna learn how to treat a Schwinn? Watch this. And now it's the Baron's turn. Wow, double whammy. You guys never heard of kickstands? It's them pointed little things down there at the pedals. Or what about using one of them bike racks with the yogurt ads on them? You see them everywhere. Why, I think I saw one not more than 20 feet away.
There was not.
Okay, you're right. I just made that one up. Boy, ever since the tourist business started dropping off, he has gotten so touchy.
Baldy found you.
What? Oh, yes. I remember running. And oh no. It was a hole, and I fell in the hole. I can't remember anything else, David.
That's all right. Don't you worry about it now, Beth.
Why didn't you get out of here, you guys? This poor creature obviously needs a bath, clean clothes, and a good rest.
Shouldn't we be leaving? Is the boat here yet? Isn't it, David?
We can't use the boat. Someone scuttled it.
Oh, no.
But don't worry. We'll manage fine.
You won't be far away. Oh, please, please.
All right. Just rest. Send Myrtle for me if you want me, Beth.
Mr. Moss.
Oh, Mr. Moss, have you seen the Baron?
Yes, he's inside.
Thank I realize, of course, that you are unaware of the deadly potential of this, but you have so many experiments. One man couldn't possibly keep track of them all.
Well, Mr. Demarest, we're both scientists, are we not? Scientists must have proof. Do you mind showing me your proof?
Yes, of course, Baron. I'll show you the carcass. It's bloodless like the others. This explains everything. I can see now why the vampire legend started when those other animals were found. I can take a leave of absence from my university. We can work on this together.
An interesting proposition.
Interesting? It's more than that, Baron. We'll make botanical history here.
You really think so?
I'm sure of it. We'll write books about your work here so the world will learn of your genius.
Just a minute, Mr. Demarest. There's one thing wrong with your theory. I don't want books written about my experiments.
You don't?
No, I don't want publicity. I don't want the world to know of my genius. And in addition, you were wrong, Mr. Demarest, about my experiments being out of control. I'm never out of control. Never.
You killed those people?
You? Thank you, my lady. Sorry. It was necessary. I hated to do that, Demarest. I really liked you. Baldi. Get rid of him. Use discretion. He was a nice man.
Well, I guess it's off to the planter box for that nutty Professor Demarest. Boy, you just knew they were going to get some mileage out of that statue before this movie was over. And if that's the way the Baron treats people he likes, I would hate to see how he treats the ones he ain't very fond of. I was just standing here, trying to remember where I might have seen that Baron character before. I think maybe he used to do a mind-reading act. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, he was terrible. He just always had an audience full of plants. I'm telling that is a corker. Man-eater continues right after these words. Audience full of plants.
brother. Dead or not, it's this way. Come on.
the script called for an ivy plant, but they came up with an IV plant instead. A little hospital humor there. But seriously, I have never seen anything so gross before in my life. Oh, obviously poor Myrtle had never seen anything like it before either. And the very sight of it made her forget how to do one very important thing. Run. She just sort of stood there. I mean, you know the plan ain't going nowhere. Run for it. And the real tragedy of her getting bumped off like that is now there's a photomat in the Bronx that just had to close up shop. They were counting on her business. Now, who's the Baron going to blame this one on now that Baldy ain't around to take the rap anymore? Poor Baldy. Nobody ever told him that a rolling stone gathers no moss. Or, for that matter, that people who stand on rubble heaps shouldn't throw stones. Well, there's still more to come as our vacation adventure continues on Movie Macabre right after these messages.